Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. Hopefully you can hear me. It's a little windy out here. A lot of background noise. Iran was just attacked by the US. It's interesting. Happens on a Saturday so that markets don't have time to react. And the only data we have right now about how the markets are reacting is the fact that crypto is down. Bitcoin's down 2.3%. ETH's down almost 3%. XRP's down almost 4%. It has to be a fast attack because right now our economy, both Europe's and the US's economies, are very fragile, even though they're at all-time highs. Just do me a favor as you're jumping on, type 1 if you can hear me clearly, or is there a lot of background noise? I just want to make sure this is worth doing. I don't want you to have to listen to a bunch of garbling. If this isn't done fast, if all of a sudden by Sunday night, thank you so much for letting me know, if by Sunday night there isn't great news that comes out saying we were victorious, everything was great, then the markets are going to react pretty poorly. Obviously, oil will be up dramatically, but it'll be interesting to see how the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ and the S&P react. Most people will be looking at what happens in the markets tomorrow, like Monday morning. What I think is more important is that in the last month, we have attacked Venezuela and now Iran, two strategic oil partners with China. I don't think that I don't think that the majority of human beings, first off, cares what's going on. And those in the position with finances, I don't think most of those people, having a retirement on the line, their home prices on the line, really consider the ramifications, the longer term ramifications. And when I say long term, I'm talking about just a year, actually. This is a situation, where America, it's Gerald Celente coined it. I think he coined it. When all else fails, they take you to war. We are in a moment where the world is being separated very fast into two. It was already sort of going there because of the BRICS nations starting around 2014, 2015, but it's rapidly picking up pace. China and Russia had approximately 10 years to build other countries' confidence in them and their economies, and now it's do or die for them. If they don't strike, and I'm not referring to an actual shooting war, I'm referring to an economic war. If they do not strike soon and hard and swift, they will lose at least a decade's work building the BRICS nations. I know that I seem very different when I talk about pulling out money when things are going up. Last year, not very many people listen to me when cryptos were popping up, and we're not talking about a 1, 2, or 3 day event. We're talking about, weeks. Hey, you've just made 30% or 100%, or in some cases, 2,000%. Pull out your initial investment. And as a leader, I always did it after I said it. Except for one, which was XRP. I just did the video about 20 minutes later, but that's a pretty liquid market. And I never sold everything of anything. But most people do not understand how to win. They are emotional. And like right now with silver and gold, it blows my mind. But I guess it's like the XRP army. People just want to listen to a bunch of YouTubers that are going to tell them that it's going up forever, it's going to be amazing, da 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 da. They don't understand how capital markets work. The fact of the matter is, the Federal Reserve hates gold and silver. Sure, they own some, they got it themselves. They will never tell you that. They own it individually. As a bank, they're not going to. But I'll tell you what, they're going to sit there and tell you all day long, do whatever you want. You got freedom. And people tell me all the time, they're like, why aren't you doing videos about the COMEX? It's breaking down. No, it's not. The COMEX is not breaking. It's a machine intended to suppress the price of gold and silver. And it's their rules. You live in it. Just like I got to deal with what happens on social media that's free to post on. If it's free to post on it, it means it's got rules, and it's their rules. You got to abide by them. And if you don't, well, then you're going to get dealt with. Those are facts. Another fact is that in the last 50 years, and people aren't going to like this, and if you don't like it, then you should just go watch people that are going to lie to you that aren't real investors, that just want you to use their affiliate link to go buy more gold and silver. Can silver go to 200 bucks in the next handful of weeks? Sure it could. Could it go to 20 bucks? Heck yeah, it can. The only difference is you can be able to sell it at 200, or you're going to have an easier time selling it at 20. Most people are finding out the hard way. The truth is that in the last 50 years, gold and silver have only spiked versus fiat currencies, or the US dollar, sorry, 3 times. 3 times, 3 cycles, in which in that amount of time, you could have lived through 50 years, 6 or 7 real estate cycles where more money would have been made. You could have lived through in 50 years 5 solid real stock cycles where you could have made huge amounts of money, pulled out profits, all your initial investment multiple times over. People don't understand how money's made. So I made the Ninja 9, and the price is going up soon, so if you want, the link's down below. An investing system where you'll never lose. I know it sounds crazy. Because most people, they talk about, you need to have a diversified portfolio. And right now, we're going back to this Iran thing. Who knows what the markets are going to do on Monday morning? I think they're going to crap the bed a little bit. Just a little bit. Because what's happening is we're in a mode where we think we can never lose. The US can never lose. You know, I put out a video on another channel of mine the other day about the British Empire collapsing virtually overnight. It was within about a week because America threatened them over the Suez Canal and what they were doing way back when. And that video is intended to show you how fast something can turn on a dime. Right now, the US has the most exposure and they're the most vulnerable out of any country because they have the most debt and the most consumerism going on. Most Americans are asleep at the wheel. Can we agree on that? Type yes or no if you agree with that. Most Americans are asleep at the freaking wheel. When it comes to economics, this is no different than 1999 before the dot-com crash was happening. Everyone felt fat and high on the hog. This is no different than 2007 during the real estate crisis, but it's even worse. Now we have sort of like this nationalism epidemic in most of our minds, that nothing could go wrong. Our guy's in the White House, everything's gonna be great, wins the football game. And that's when you should be concerned. You know, we could talk about Warren Buffett, you know, being out of the market till I'm blue in the face. I could just keep talking about, like, you realize he's done, he finished selling, and he don't give a rip about missing the last 20% of this market because he's going to pick up the pieces when it's down 50. And when it's down 50, you need to understand that just because a stock goes down 40, 50%, it doesn't mean that that's what he's paying. He's picking up these companies for pennies on the dollar, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Those are the real cycles. I'm sure many of you watched when I started talking about pulling, and most people, by and large, they do not listen and do not hear what is happening on a video. They, in their mind, think they know what's being talked about, but they couldn't repeat it back to you. And when silver hit the high 40s, it hit like 48, 49. I said there's going to be a pullback. I'd be careful about that. And you go to look at the charts, and silver pulled back 20%. That's like correction territory in a stock. A week later, and it stayed down there for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, right? Because I'm ultimately a trader too. I don't have paper gold and silver. I've got mostly physical, but if I was trading silver, I was letting people know, hey, you're gonna have a pullback. And all people can look at, and I still see comments from these old videos, look at you, you're wrong. It's like, no, I wasn't. You're watching a video that was 3 months old, 4 months old. Paper silver gets taxed at like half the rate as physical. Nobody on any of these channels have ever told you that you got to pay 28% capital gains on gold and silver physical. because it's a collectible in the IRS's eyes. There's all kinds of channels that tell you it's tax-free. They're not right. None of them cite the IRS code. But they tell you to buy physical because they have an affiliate link. And I did the same thing. I'm like, here, these are the companies I buy physical silver from. They're great. But a long time ago, I said, I will stop talking about buying silver, and I will stop buying silver after it reaches $30, because we were positioned at the knees. Now you're about to see a lot of people lose their butts because they're paying extreme prices, not only for spot, but also for the actual coin, the overage itself, the premium. Because, and I said it, you watched me say it, look, if you guys, anyone out there has a significant portion of their money in precious metals, and if you have doubled or tripled your money, you need to pull out your actual initial investment. And if it keeps going up, be happy for the money you have left. And if it goes down, be happy that you pulled your initial investment out. And I actually suggested you pull out more than your initial investment. See, that's advice coming from a winner. If you want to think that's cocky, well, this is definitely not the channel for you. That is the most sound investment advice anyone on YouTube could give you. And the only people that really understand are successful people. Do me a favor. Type 10 if you understand, and you also understand that that's good advice and you are a successful investor, because you're learning, or you've already learned, how to win and then win again. See, losers don't understand winners. They're jealous of winners. They're haters of winners. They want to blame the winners for all their problems. You want to know I know that? I was one of them. And in 2017, everything changed. That's why I created the Ninja 9, and I cannot wait for you to experience it. I know all of the videos, I think I've got 5 more that the editor is finishing today. This is going to revolutionize and change thousands, actually tens of thousands of people's lives. I'm extremely excited. No matter what the market does tomorrow based off the Iran conflict, it doesn't matter, because the cracks have already opened up all over the economy. The Federal Reserve is already bailing out the banks. They've been doing it for a little over a year now with the bailout system of the Fed repo system. Even the State of the Union, hey, most of it's fluff. Everything's amazing. Look at what this is doing. Look at what that is doing. Don't look behind me. If you don't know how to pull out your profits, stop investing, because you're just going to run every single investment to zero. On a flat enough plane, everything goes to zero. That's the motto of Zero Hedge. I think it's great because it's true. Because everything goes up or down based off of human emotions. Hopefully you have a great day. Thank you to everyone that's been watching the channel. I am going to start slowly not posting on this channel and move to some other things. So I'll be doing a call out if anybody wants to join the newsletter. Hopefully you have a great day. The Economic Ninja is out.